So Pete, y'all already know what time it is. You got your boy Break. You got my boy Chilling with Dylan, and we are Run the Roads Media Podcast. So if y'all peeped the last episode that we had, we were just, giving y'all our front runners on who we think will win the Royal Rumble. And neither one of us saw Roman Reigns in, winning the Royal Rumble now like Pete. All right, we got Elimination Chamber afterwards. But I'm gonna put it out here like this. What's what's the plans for Roman Reigns if he doesn't win the Royal Rumble? And I see a clear direction that they can go. I see a clear direction that the WWE can go if Roman Reigns does not win. Because you gotta remember, Roman Reigns has been in the title picture for over 3 years. And it's crazy because over here around the ropes, we gonna run y'all from turnbuckle to turnbuckle, but we're gonna come back here and meet in the center of the ring. I was talking to my wife about Stone Cold and what made Stone Cold great, and like where he got. She was reading her daily Bible verses, and I just talked to her about John 3:16, and that's where Stone Cold got the Austin 3:16 from. And because of that, Stone Cold became this massive superstar. And Stone Cold was really only on top for 3 years, Dylan. When we really look at the time span of Stone Cold's run, it was the exact amount of time as Roman Reigns being the champion for three.
Yeah.
Now, granted, Stone Cold had way more matches, a tougher schedule, blah, 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 but just the time frame. The time frame of Roman Reigns being a champion was the same time frame, a little bit less of when Stone Cold was on the top of the WWE. So when Stone Cold wasn't really in the title, well, Stone Cold has always been in the title picture, but like eventually, it started to fizzle on down. So when Roman Reigns not having his championship, everybody gonna say, "Man, what can go on?" We got three people. We got three people that I still feel like got unfinished business with Roman Reigns, and I feel like these three people are so adamant for Roman Reigns to not be on top again. That's Drew McIntyre, that's Kevin Owens, and that's Seth Rollins. So I feel like in order for Roman Reigns to even get back close to that championship, he got to go against them as well. And these are going to be the guys that's going to try to hold Roman Reigns away from this championship. I feel like in their eyes, when Roman gets that title back, their dictator is back. You know what I'm saying? Like once he get that title back, he gets full power back. So I feel like Drew McIntyre is adamant for this man not to get that championship back. Kevin Owens, same way. Seth Rollins, same way. So that's gonna be his. I feel like his biggest battles this year. I don't think the championship is really in his foresight at all, bro. One, do we really want another Roman Reigns championship run? I
Well,
don't
I
think we
think
really
it's
want that.
I think it's in his foresight, just going off of SmackDown, because obviously you had Paul
Paul
Heyman
Heyman.
as his wise man coming out and saying that he wants that championship back. He told Cody that Roman wants his championship back. So it is definitely in his foresight. Whether or not it happens in 2025 is going to be interesting, just the way that this year is shaping up, even, just to WrestleMania in general. But I think you're right. I think Roman, we briefly, wanted to just touch on the whole idea of the championship and the character.
Yep. Yep.
There's one philosophy of you have a star, right? Like let's just a modern example of this, I think, is a star that gets over without a championship, right? So let's just say in this time frame, LA Knight. Let's just say, right, because he had a roller coaster type of ride. Actually, you know what? Probably a better example is Jey Uso, right? Like how over he got, and he had no championship. Okay, when he was that red hot, he didn't need a championship because he was more over than a
In the
championship
middle.
would
Yep.
elevate him.
Yep.
Now, it's a tough discussion I feel to have because of how beloved Roman is, and just even with his peers, right? Like how he's respected and what he has done to build his character over the years. But when you look at his run right now, after his loss to Cody at WrestleMania, I feel like it's a valid question just to bring up. Has his run post WrestleMania since he's returned at SummerSlam, we feel like his mystique is the same without a championship? To me, he still has it. He still has that aura. You know, my man puts his ones to the sky. He has the Ula follow on him now. He still has it. However, I do feel like he has lost some of that luster since he is no longer in a title
Mhm.
picture. I don't know if it's just me. It's just the way that I've been feeling as a fan and as a viewer as of recent.
So you basically saying the title helped make the man in a sense.
It's interesting, right? It's an interesting conversation because I still feel like it's part true and part not true because let's be honest, like what is still one of the greatest storylines going in professional wrestling today is the Bloodline storyline. And from SummerSlam to this past Monday on Netflix, the Netflix debut of Raw, it's still one of the main attractions, right? Like that battle for the Ulafala was still a top storyline in any company, right? So did the championship make him? You know, you go from like the big dog Roman Reigns and the Shield Roman Reigns to where he is
Ooh.
now. I feel like it did make him during his original run. It's I don't know. It's tough because I feel like initially maybe the championship made the man. I do feel like now it just seems like while you're watching him, it feels like he's missing something, right? Like I just feel like maybe the championship doesn't make him as a full character, but it does add definitely some of that it factor to Roman Reigns as he's the champion. Let's be honest, like when he was the undisputed, when he had both of those belts on him, bro, like he was the aura king, bro.
It
Like
made
that
him more
man could walk.
badass, bro, with the entrance. You got both
Exactly.
belts. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It just brought more of that swag. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Maybe he's missing a little bit of that swag
Yep.
without the championships. Like Roman, but we haven't really got Roman in full force though, bro. You know
Not
what I'm
in
saying?
years.
Like
Not in
not
years. Yeah.
not in years, and even you got to remember the wise man been gone a long time too. Like Paul Heyman is just now, like kind of back in his corner. So, we was missing Paul Heyman for months.
Mm-hmm.
Roman Reigns, like what made Roman Reigns great with the title is kind of the same thing that made Brock Lesnar great with the title.
Mm-hmm.
It was the man on the mic, and it wasn't neither one of them speaking. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? Like Paul Heyman also adds that swagger to all of it, bro.
Yep.
Like Paul Heyman is a very vital piece to both Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. So I feel like that adds to it as well. But my thing is, bro, it almost kind of sounds like the Becky Lynch, situation where like they always put a title on Becky. It's just like, is Becky irrelevant without a belt? You know what I'm saying? Like, is the man making the belt or is the belt making the man? And let's be honest, bro, like I haven't really missed Becky Lynch that much. You know what I'm saying? And I don't miss Roman Reigns without that title either. Like, we got to get used to
It's
other people.
also hard. It's also hard because he is the top guy. And usually throughout the history of wrestling, the top guys have a belt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but like he can't go to holding the IC champion. Like he's too up
But
there.
yes, that's exactly my point
He
is
and it's like he has
that's
to
it.
stay there. It's like
That's
he
it.
has to stay
Yes.
in that main event picture, bro. Like he reached Roman Reigns reached a level of dominance that I feel like nobody has ever done so. John
Yep.
Cena can come back and say, I'm going for the IC chair. He's done that.
Yep.
Cena has went for mid-card titles, after his 14, 15, championships, and it was okay.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, all right, Cena, the IC champion. Put the IC champion on Roman Reigns now and see what it does. Okay, he's an IC champ. Like, the Island of Red, you're not the guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're not the guy. Like He has to be that guy. Now, the thing is, I will say this, Dylan. I feel like we haven't been truly invested in this solo, bloodline. Like we would, this conversation would be 100% different if it was more Rock and Roman, because you don't need a title on the line for that.
That's
It's you
facts,
got
yeah.
the Rock, you got the Rock, and you got Roman Reigns, bro. Like that's a main event with a title, without a title. WrestleMania, Raw, that's just overall. But like he's been fighting people that we don't really care too much. At least I don't, bro. Like again,
I
I'm
don't
still
know, see, that's tough to say
but,
too
but but
because
also like look at the matches he's had though, bro. Look at the matches he's had. He's mainly been in tag team matches. His match with Solo was his first solo match since WrestleMania. So
yes,
we don't have a lot to work with, bro. We don't have a lot to paint,
true.
right now, bro. We got
But
like
but
four
but it's
we got
just as
4 or
far
5
as
matches.
just as far as enjoying that storyline, I still enjoyed it. I think
I
Solo.
enjoyed it at the in the tail end of it. You know what I'm saying? Like war games and a little bit after. You know what I'm saying? Like
Well, because there's only so much they could have done when Roman was gone, because you had Solo and developing or creating his new bloodline, right? So like eventually it's going to build up to Roman coming back, and then you have all this interaction. I still enjoyed some of the work that Solo did. Obviously, I mean, you're missing out the key piece when Roman was sitting at home for a little while. You know what I mean? So again,
I'm
it's
not
bringing it
trying.
back. It's bringing it back to him being the top guy. It just feels different without him having a title. It's
Yeah,
kind of
but
weird.
yeah. Again, bro. Like we said, man. It gave him that swagger. It gave him. It validated everything that was being said. You get what I'm saying? It validated. Like Paul Heyman said, he's this, he's this, he's this. It's true, but you can't really stamp it until this man got that championship. But Cody got it. You know what I'm saying? And again, bro, I think the mystique, the swagger, having my man Roman in all these tag team matches with Cody, it just, I don't want to say it took away, but it makes sense on why it's perfect for why KO and them is so mad, bro. You know what I'm saying? This man came back tag teaming with damn near everybody to help him destroy some of the stuff that he created. Like it didn't make any sense, bro. And now we got Roman trying to not necessarily be a bad guy and go after Cody's title. We know like it's always been the main thing, but it's just like him being in tag team matches with Cody, him being in 6-man, like that wasn't Roman, bro. It wasn't. It was just fillers. Like I'm
Yeah,
ready to get to the real story, bro. Like what's the real, like Solo and him? That was the real story. That's to the side now. So what's next without him being in a title picture? How long can y'all keep us interested in Roman Reigns without him holding the WWE championship?
that's a good
Yes,
question.
he may go to Raw, and beat Gunther, like him holding that championship. I probably won't be upset, bro. But
Yeah,
it's not the championship though.
it's a good
It's
point.
not the championship.
It's a good point. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's just the two championships are, you have Cody on one side, and we just don't wanna see that anymore,
We
and
don't.
and then you have Gunther on the other side, which, that's a whole whole 'nother topic for a different day on how his reign has been so far, which I
Mhm.
think has been pretty poor, to be honest.
I feel like we seen more Damian Priest when he was a champion than we've seen lately of Gunther,
Oh,
bro.
we
Ever since
100%.
Gunther lost to Cody, it was like,
Seth Rollins was the perfect world heavyweight champion.
yep.
Since Seth, since they had him drop the belt, it hasn't been the same. Now, again, it's I would almost like the switch for him to start going for a world heavyweight title instead of Cody's title.
It's fresh, bro. It's something
Yeah.
fresh. That's just a
Unless
challenger,
they finish this
etc.
chapter. That's the only problem with him switching, right? Is it's almost like he can't switch right now because everything is so jumbled together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Between this trifecta of the Bloodline, The Rock, and Cody Rhodes. It's everything right
Don't
now is
forget Drew, KO, and Seth too. Like we can't forget them either.
but they But well, KO and Drew. Yes, Drew. I think is going to be. He's going to have a phenomenal 2025. That's going to be his year. We've already said that. But just exclude him for a second. KO. You can kind of distance himself for the bloodline, even though with all the history and all the past, you can still distance himself. Have him and Cody do something. Incorporate Randy. People will slowly start to forget them in the bloodline. Cody, you can't just forget. That's why, again, bringing it back to The Rock on
To the Rock.
the Netflix
And
debut
a lot of people,
is
kind of been like, I've been seeing I think 90% of the fans feel how you feel, Dylan. I definitely feel like I'm on the less end of the spectrum as far as what I feel like The Rock is gonna do. Like it
yeah.
does, like honestly swear it does, bro. Like everything y'all saying, like the whole promo on that on NXT, like that really felt like Dwayne Johnson in NXT. So it's just like I get what you're saying. How could he been Dwayne Johnson on NXT and not have been Dwayne Johnson on Monday Night Raw? So yeah, I want again, bro. We a week later. That felt like 2 weeks ago, but that was
I
only a
know.
week. You know what I'm
I
saying?
know.
But like I feel like I'm understanding a lot more where y'all coming from, but then again, like I said, I still feel like it's a bigger plan at the end. You know what I'm
And
saying?
a and if we and again, going back to your point with the bigger plan, I still am all in for that as
Mhm.
long as we can finally close the chapter. You can't leave open-ended storylines to never be finished because then people are just gonna say, "This makes no sense," and
And
now
I
I'm
didn't
pissed.
even know how pissed people were, bro. Like people were pissed off about that, bro. To
Yeah.
the point where The Rock even had to say, like, you had so many people mad that The Rock was sharing champagne with, like, people were pissed. But the
And
great
yeah.
thing about it, though, bro, is that they listen to us. You know what I'm saying? No pun intended. You
I
know,
think it's
like
because they
they
don't
listen
have a
to it.
choice. They don't have a choice
Mhm.
but to listen. Because and
That's
maybe again, this is part of the plan, but if it wasn't,
now it
you
should
got
be.
now it's like, oh, they're like, "Oh, man, we kinda messed up." Like, we kinda were hoping people woulda forgot. Hey,
Yeah,
people don't
we didn't
forget, bro.
forget, bro.
We can't
Mm-mm.
forget about all this stuff that you guys been doing for the past full year now with, again, like you said, KO, Drew, like, these chapters need to be addressed, and they need to have some type of closing to them. Professional wrestling has always been that way. You build up a big story to a big
Mhm.
PLE, great. You have somebody, and let's go on to the next one. If you want to do this long-term storytelling like they've been doing for the past couple of years, they love these long-term stories. You have something from 2 years ago somebody references, and all of a sudden they're incorporating it now.
Mhm.
Obviously, we know that a lot of this stuff is planned months and months ahead of time. So you're right to a certain extent. They know what they're doing, but at the same time, when you talk about The Rock in specific, it's different because The Rock operates on his own regard, and we don't know what he's going to be doing because he's such a big Hollywood star. It's not like
Mhm.
guys like Seth Rollins, who's here week in and week out,
Right,
where we know what this
The Rock
man's
can
going
do
to
some
be.
stuff, get away with it, leave for a little bit. Yeah, he can go off the he
Exactly.
can go off the script. You know, as
Facts.
they love to say, he can. And now again, Dylan, you know,
And kind of let's just tie it right back real quick, and because we keep going off tangent. But the way you just described The Rock is kind of how Roman's been for the past year since he's lost the belt at Mania. He's
mhm,
kind of in, he's kind of out. He's not on every single show. So it's like, what is he gonna do next? Does he need the belt right now if he's not gonna
no,
be?
no,
Especially like you just made a great point. If he ain't gonna be at every single week, I almost don't want him to be the champion because you're gonna
mhm,
start building that Brock Lesnar factor where he's
yeah.
only gonna show up and wrestle on PLEs. Does
But
that bring it?
that's been Roman for the last 5 years though.
Let me
So it's
ask you
like,
a
how
quick
can we
question
expect
regarding
that?
that. Let me ask you a question regarding that. Now, me and you both love Lesnar, right? And I personally enjoyed the way that they built him up throughout the years as this guy, and he shows up to get paid, right? As he would say
Mhm.
on the PLEs. That works with certain guys. I do feel like it does also bring a certain excitement when you do get them
Yeah,
again.
because you don't get them
Because
every week.
if you're there every single week, it kind of
Mhm.
brings down that aura
It does.
factor a
Yep, yep,
couple
yep, yep,
notches.
yep.
So it does work with Roman. I just feel like as a champion, yeah, Imma go with you. I don't think he doesn't need it
He
right
don't
now.
need it, bro. He don't need it.
Yeah.
We damn near had 5 years of this guy back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I actually like about Cody. And you even gotta peep this. Cody is not wrestling every week. You know what I'm saying? But he's there.
He's there, yeah.
there every week. He's not like
He damn
wrestling.
near pretty much wrestles
Dylan,
every week,
wrestling and
though.
changed a lot though, bro. Like think of mid 2000s WWE champion. They were there every
Oh, you
single
had the
week.
biggest stars
They
on
were
every single.
wrestling every single week, bro. Like Cody, bro, Cody, we ain't seen Cody wrestle since Saturday Night Main Event. He ain't been
No,
in the
he
back
just wrestled. He just wrestled with Jimmy.
with Jimmy. When was this?
So
Oh, on SmackDown.
SmackDown, bro, on SmackDown.
But why did they do that though? They did it because this was the first 3 hour episode of SmackDown. It was a USA premiere. So of
Second,
course,
second, second.
second.
Yeah, the first one was Tiffany Stratton. Remember?
But did he wrestle on the first one? Nah. But my
No,
thing, these champions are not
I get what you're
wrestling,
saying. I
bro.
get what you're saying.
These guys ain't wrestling. Like, yeah, Roman be gone, but Cody, how many title defenses has Cody had since he's been a champ? Like, you gotta remember when
A
Roman
lot
came
more.
back.
Though. A
Well,
lot more.
a lot more than Roman, but Cody was in a tag team match here. He was in a tag team match there. He was in
Yeah,
a tag team match over there. Like we ain't getting a lot of championship matches, bro. Like the U.S. championship is helping run the show. Where the freak Braun Breaker been at, bro? Like we ain't seen an intercontinental champion
that's
like
very true.
in weeks. Like what's been going? Like it's weird, bro. I swear. I
But
swear,
again,
bro, ever since
no, go
Roman
ahead.
came back, bro, things have just everything just shifted back to Roman, bro. Like I love Roman, but I feel like they gotta do better with doing things with more than just Roman and Cody, bro. Because God forbid something happened to him. Now what? Y'all gotta make another star. Like this is y'all
Yeah,
need to still be making Cody. Cody can keep the championship for a little bit, but Roman does not need the title. Roman just needs great storylines right now. Roman needs either Drew McIntyre versus The Rock at WrestleMania. Honestly, at this point, he needs The Rock. Because even with a match with Drew, yeah, that's cool, bro. That's a great match. But he needs a banger of a match, bro. He needs that I'm still that guy, you know, beat The Rock and now you can go back for the championship. Like I did say, like, man, like we got to be patient, but I don't know how patient we can be with a guy who shows up, you know, for only and it's nothing against Roman Reigns. It's no nothing against him. It's no disrespect, but it's just his work schedule. When you got 3 hours of Raw, 3 hours of SmackDown, and we missing a champion, 2 out of the 4 SmackDowns that we get, get a month, bro. Like I'm not here for that. We lived through that for 3 years with Roman. I love Roman, bro, but nah, nah.
yeah. It's kind of like a give and a take because I do also feel like again going back to the whole championship defenses on the PLEs. It makes the PLEs mean that they're PLEs.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you do have and I would like to see it more often than it is, obviously, but I do feel like if you were to just wrestle for championships every single Friday on SmackDown, every single Monday on Raw, it's kinda like, well, what are we tuning in for PLEs for if we're getting
Exactly.
championship matches every night?
Exactly.
So, again, that is kinda iffy. Again, I mean, back in the day, they wouldn't care, though. I mean, they'd be wrestling for championships, they'd be flipping belts week in, week out, so it is
But
definitely a
even if it's
different
not for the
time.
championship, we still want the champion wrestling. How about that?
I don't like that. Now, I
You,
said that to you again. I don't like when you have a champion wrestling a singles match when we know as a fan it doesn't mean anything if it's not for the belt.
I got you.
I'd rather
I
have
got
a champion wrestle, and if they're gonna wrestle a singles match, tag team, that's how they can get away with it, and I'm cool with it. But a singles match, like when Cody and Mello,
you.
bro,
Mm-hmm.
put the
They
title
should
on
have
the
kept the
line.
title
Like,
line.
what
Yeah.
are we even doing? We know Mello ain't
Yeah.
gonna win the belt, so what's the match even mean anything for? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
I don't like that. But yeah, it's a very interesting conversation as a Roman fan. I mean, we always me and you joke about it. Like I still think probably Roman should have beat Cody. Now, look in hindsight at
Facts,
WrestleMania,
bro.
so
Facts. Facts. Like
it
it had to happen, but now I agree. And y'all
yeah.
let us know if y'all agree with us as well, man. Do y'all feel like Roman has lost some of his swagger since he hasn't had them championships? I do. I just feel like the words that are being said, you can't validate that until he get them championships back. Are we on
Yeah.
the island? Is he on the island of relevancy right now? No, he's not. He ain't the champ.
It
Cody is.
yeah. I
Totally
do
is.
I do feel like the fact that they had the Ula follow though, it brings him up a notch now, right? Because it kinda bring gives him that aura a little bit now, like,
Mhm.
now he doesn't have to fight for that tribal chief title, he is the tribal chief. So now at least it can get a little bit more interesting,
He
but
ain't the
you're
hot
right, I
chief,
mean,
though.
yeah, I mean,
He
we
ain't the
gotta wait
hot
and
chief,
see.
man. Like, again, I'm ending it off on this, Dylan. I'm ending it off on
It's
this.
funny you're coming around on this, huh?
You know what I'm about to say, and I was about to say that, bro. Like, a week later, I'm gonna stand 10 toes down as far as do I think The Rock got a plan? Do I think The Rock, you know, uh, I don't know if he's going after Cody or Roman. I still feel more Roman, but
Mhm.
do it need to it needs to happen more for Roman than it needs to happen for The Rock, bro. Because again, like Roman needs to stay, he needs to stay in these high dollar, high picture matches. And for WrestleMania, Rock and Roman is $1 billion. Rock and Drew is $1 million. Excuse me, Roman and Drew is $1 million. You get what I'm saying? You
Yeah,
got a
yep,
$1 billion match versus $1 million match.
yep.
Both we can get Roman and Drew SummerSlam. Like, and plus, because I'm going to WrestleMania too. Like, I want to see The
Yeah, you
Rock.
want
Like,
yeah,
I just got to keep it a buck. Like, the final boss definitely need to be there, man. So,
yep.
again, y'all let us know how y'all feel about that in the comment section below. Dylan, man, any final thoughts, bro? Take us home.
That's it, man. Make sure you guys are, new to the channel. You guys are subscribing to the channel, like the content, share the content. Um, yeah, I mean, stay tuned. It's gonna be very interesting in the next couple of of months. But yeah, so that's gonna do it for us today. My name is Dylan,
Got your boy Break.
and we're out.
Peace.
Peace.